In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating how to throw a small lidded jar, a jar with a gallery and a little lid. So I'm beginning by centering and pulling the form into a cylinder, keeping the top slightly more narrow and slightly thicker at the top edge. Whenever you're going to create a jar or a gallery on a lidded form, you want to have just a little bit more thickness up there at the top. Now to create the gallery, I kind of hold the rim stable while I was splitting the rim with my finger, and you can see that it creates a little indentation there. Then a little bit of tweaking, trying to get the form a little bit closer to what I really would like. A little refining with a wooden tool. You could trim away a little bit if need be with a needle tool. And once I have the gallery looking the way I want, then I'm going to measure it with calipers. Now the purpose of the calipers is to get the correct measurement of the width, so when I make my lid, I can match that diameter. So here I'm centering a very small ball of clay for the lid. This is going to be thrown as a little bowl form, but it's going to have a very thick base. That thickness underneath the center of the little bowl form is going to form the knob when I trim it. So here I'm using the calipers just to see how much further I have to go. Now I'm going to pull and widen it just a wee bit more. Measure it again. I'd rather have it just a little bit too large than a little bit too small, because you can always trim away a little bit if you have it a little too large. And right there, it's just a wee bit bigger than I need it. And again, it's real thick in the bottom because that is going to be on the other side. It's going to become the knob. All right, here's my lidded pot. I have let it sit overnight to get leather hard. As I put my lid on right now, you can see that the lid is not actually fitting just the way I need it to yet. I'm going to be trimming a tiny bit off the lid, and I'll do that in a minute. The first thing that I am going to do, though, is I want to flip my pot itself upside down, and I'm going to be trimming that. Now I am going to be trimming on my Giffin Grip, which I have several videos on how to use the Giffin Grip, so if you want to see something a little bit more detailed with explanation, just click on one of those videos. But I'm going to use the short hands here to kind of hold it at the wide point down low. Love the Giffin Grip because it will automatically center my piece and hold it snugly in place. I'm going to first of all just mark the foot so you can see. Now you'll remember that the transition on the interior is the determining factor of where you place the foot. So where the inside will go from horizontal to vertical will determine where I place the foot. And remember that when you do this, if you lock your hands together and go straight down, it's very helpful to even rest your non-tool hand on the bottom of the piece. So I'm holding the tool, I should say, in my right hand. I go straight down. Left hand is resting on the bottom of the pot, and my left hand also is helping to hold the tool in many cases. So I'm going to first of all trim away the excess on the outside. Then I'm going to rib this. Put a little water on the edge of my rib. And then to do the inside of the foot, again, straight down. As long as you have made both lines straight down from the bottom, the foot should be parallel. If you go in from the outside, you often have an uneven foot. So always straight down from the bottom. Here I'm just going to take this a little flat. A little bit of water on my finger, and I'm going to compress the grog that's in the foot. Okay, as I look at this, I'm still not crazy about that line. I'm going to reverse these. Now these hold it down just a little bit lower so I can kind of eliminate that line that I wasn't liking. Now that I have the bottom of my sugar bowl trimmed, I am going to snug in the Giffin Grip again, and this time I just need to trim a wee bit off the outer edge. I probably could have been a little bit more precise when I actually threw it, but I would rather have it just a tad bit too large, and I can always trim it. Now with this sitting upside down, I'm going to come in here and just trim away a little bit. Okay. We'll check and see if that was enough. Oh, just a tad bit more. Now, I've trimmed that edge which has exposed the grog, and of course I want to recompress that, so I added a little bit of water with my sponge, and I've compressed down the grog in the edge. Let's see if this fits now. There we go. Now that fits in. Okay, so now that the lid fits down in there, what I'd like to do is I'd like to trim my handle. And the idea on this, unlike the handle that I made on the teapot the other day, when I did that in my teapot video and the lid video, I actually just trimmed the lid kind of domed, and then I slipped and scored and added a piece on. Now in this kind, I've left enough thickness for the knob to actually be trimmed right on there. Now I do want to point out that when I'm trimming, I'm actually keeping my finger on the top of the knob. That helps to keep the lid from scooting around at all. So with any knob design, I always like to have a slight undercut to the knob design. It helps to prevent the knob from just slipping out of your hand. So I did wet the top of the trim knob to allow it to smooth a little bit more with my fingers and round it. Now I wet the top of the lid, and then I just rib that. Okay? Now, one of the tricks that I showed in my teapot video will apply for this technique as well. If you were to take and place a piece of paper towel in the gallery, that allows you to pick up the lid without damaging a wet knob. Otherwise, you may have noticed I turned it over like this to pick up the lid. So if this is just a cute little lidded jar, totally fine. Now if you want to make it a sugar bowl and you want to have a spoon in it, of course you could cut a notch in the lid. Some people put a little notch in the rim. I personally don't want to do a notch because I just like the idea of it being sealed a little bit more. I like to keep it out on my counter, and I don't exactly want to have it open. I don't know, I have a thing about I don't want to attract flies or ants or anything like that. So I typically do not do a little notch, but you certainly could. It's personal preference, and that is how you trim a lid for a little sugar bowl. And the big difference in this lid, as opposed to say my teapot lids, is that this one has no flange in the bottom of it at all. It just sits right on the gallery. Okay, hope you enjoyed that and learned something. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out some of the other videos that I have, especially the teapot video and lid making video. But you also, I encourage you to subscribe to my station. Thanks, and have fun and play.